Welcome to this presentation on requirements analysis and management, using Enterprise Architect and the Sparx modeling platform. You will learn about some of the tools and facilities available to analysts and managers to create and manage all types of requirements, from business and stakeholder to transition requirements, add rigor to your projects, and link requirements to up-process elements such as goals and objectives, and down-process elements like implementation components and test cases. You develop and review the models collaboratively, and they can be shared with customers and a range of other disciplines from project managers to implementation engineers, testers, support analysts, and more. In this presentation we will cover the following topics: develop expressive and concise requirements, manage changing requirements, achieve flexibility with standards and languages, work together with collaboration and teams, communicate, publish, and exchange models. Develop expressive and concise requirements. In this topic you will learn to create user stories, requirements, business rules, use cases, and more, using diagrams, document, and spreadsheet views. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including, develop user stories, textual requirements, and more. Use spreadsheet and document views for requirements. Automatically insert identifiers into names and aliases. Create expressive diagrams linking to other models. And more. Create any type of requirement from business and stakeholder requirements, down to implementation and transition requirements. Enterprise Architect has a full range of built-in requirements, but you can define your own types, and using the profile system you can specify a metamodel of how they relate to other modeling elements. Use the powerful traceability features to link requirements to applicable elements at each level to ensure your project is on track. Create and view requirements and other analysis elements as documents, and gain productivity by working in this familiar business tool. You can immediately toggle from this view to spreadsheet, list, diagram, or Gantt chart views. Switch any package or diagram to the specification view and work as you would in your favorite word processor. Set display options including level numbering, note visibility, and create new and delete existing requirements directly from the specification manager. Create and view requirements in a spreadsheet-like view, with properties such as status and priority listed in columns. If you are accustomed to working with spreadsheets, this will be a welcomed view that allows you to sort and rearrange columns, and edit both system and user-defined properties from drop-down lists. Enjoy the productivity that comes from working in this familiar business paradigm, and switch to other views such as list, diagram and Gantt views when needed. Discover requirements sourced from documents stored inside or outside the repository. Bridge the gap between these text-based sources of project information, and the requirements derived from them. As your project evolves and implementation work begins, you can trace any part of the model back to the source of the requirements, by using tools such as the matrix and traceability window. Keep track of requirements with identifiers and numbers that are automatically applied when you create new requirements. Set the starting number and specify prefixes and suffixes for the numbering system. You can use the numbers to readily identify requirements in stakeholder workshops, team meetings and conversations. Display the numbers in diagrams, documents, reports, and most of the tool windows including the browser, properties, and search windows. Avoid scope creep or gaps, with features or requirements defined as either in scope or out of scope. Use the diagram boundary and packages in the browser to quickly present an element's scope, helping to prevent budget and time overruns, and fostering positive project outcomes. Know who's who in your project by creating expressive maps of the significant stakeholders and how they are related. When you clearly define the relationships between stakeholders, you can more easily resolve stakeholder conflicts and ensure better overall outcomes for the entire group of stakeholders. Create epics and user stories to record the user's goals and expectations, and then add rich metadata like constraints, tags, and project information such as tasks and tests, as you analyze and implement the story. Alternatively, use the Pro Cloud Server integration to pull in epics, stories, and issues from tools like Jira, and link the items to rich modeled content including database tables, application components, and information models. Manage changing requirements. In this topic, you will learn to utilize a range of tools, from checklists, audits, baselines, and more, to manage change. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits including, keep track of changes with baselines. Know who changed what and when with audits. View connections and gaps with matrices. Visualize properties with charts and graphs. And more. Discover what's changed in your model using the powerful comparison feature of the baseline utility. Create any number of baselines for any model package, and then as your model evolves, compare it to one or more baselines of the same package. Revert each change or an entire package to the content in the baseline, and set options to suppress changes such as diagram and date changes. Use the feature for requirements, user stories, use cases, or any other package of model elements and diagrams. Keep track of high-priority requirements, or those with particular statuses, by viewing them in a spreadsheet view using the Specification Manager. Change the priority or other metadata directly in the sheet or a list, or the Properties window. Ensure projects are delivering value to stakeholders by implementing the high-priority requirements. See how your requirements stack up, by applying a checklist to individual requirements or packages of requirements. Extend the checklist to other elements such as stories, use cases, and business rules, to ensure rigor and standardization. Use a checklist pattern of predefined quality characteristics, or define your organization, project, or team qualities for each element type. Stay on top of requirement issues, by defining and viewing a list of concerns with requirements or other elements. Avoid problems with implementation, testing, or production, by analyzing and cataloging requirement issues. These issues can relate to semantics, ambiguity, structure, omissions, inclusions, and more, and their early definition and resolution with help ensure successful project outcomes. Automatically color code requirement statuses to clearly show a requirement's position in your project lifecycle. Immediately identify the status of a requirement on a diagram and easily visualize requirements with the same status, such as those that are validated but not yet implemented. Create user-defined status codes and set their colors based on business or technical processes and workflows. Express your organization's policies by defining business rules that express their application and how they manifest at a business operation level. Use Enterprise Architect's powerful tracing ability, and show how business rules relate to policies using tools like diagramming, matrices, traceability, and reports. Keep track of who changed what and when by enabling auditing for the repository. Use the Settings window to specify the auditing level and to adjust the amount of information you want to record. Also, define the elements you want to include in the audit. You can enable auditing at different times, such as when consultants or external parties are working on the repository or at particular phases of your project. Understand connectivity and gaps in your models by using matrices to visualize the relationship between source and target elements or features. Locate scope creep, gaps, and unimplemented requirements by viewing the colored matrix bands. Visualize any element's connections, including drivers, goals, user stories, use cases, test cases, risks, and more. Include the matrix in web pages and publications as an alternative view for non-technical stakeholders, or export it to a spreadsheet or save it for future reference. Visualize requirement statuses, other properties and metadata in compelling charts and graphs viewable on dashboard diagrams. Use the diagrams to drive repository administration and modeling tasks, and include them in reports and publications. You can also set display options including legends and colors to make the charts more appealing and meaningful. Managing changing requirements is critical to the success of any project or endeavor. Using Enterprise Architect, you can document changes to requirements and other elements by creating change records that define the nature of the change, the person who requested the change, its status and priority, and a range of other attributes. This information is critical when creating and evaluating test cases and stakeholder satisfaction. Achieve flexibility with standards and languages. In this topic, you will learn to create industry best practice requirements models, using Babok, UML, bpmn, DMN, and more. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including, create industry best practice models with the Babok. Switch roles and stay focused with perspectives. Connect requirements to UML elements. Create, view, and simulate process diagrams with bpmn. And more. Be guided by the business analysis body of knowledge and its encapsulated insights, integrated inside Enterprise Architect. Use a full suite of pattern modeling solutions that implement the Babok techniques, allowing you to concentrate on your business problems and their analysis. Use this companion to the Babok to ensure you are not only following best practice, but enshrining it in your models, and delivering your stakeholders clear and concise representations of the business. Change your project role at the drop of a hat, by selecting a perspective, and watch Enterprise Architect set your focus on the chosen discipline by hiding other tool options. Choosing a perspective will increase your productivity as you concentrate on modeling for your selected role. Create tailored perspectives by including selected technologies relevant to your modeling intent, or create perspectives for teams and groups, ensuring the entire team stays focused. Trace requirements from a business down to a technology level, and visualize the entire project landscape from strategic drivers down to technology nodes. Use this traceability for impact analysis, where components or services are compromised, either during implementation or in a production environment. You can also use the diagram in team meetings such as stand-ups and design workshops, or resolve conflicts between interdisciplinary teams, including external consultants and partners. Model current or future state processes using the business process model and notation as the de facto standard for process modeling. Trace processes and data objects back to the requirement models to tie these process models to the value proposition. Bring models to life with simple simulations or use the bpsim extension to create sophisticated simulations, allowing for what-if analysis, measuring throughputs, doing Monte Carlo analysis, and much more. Add images to diagrams to create expressive narratives and compelling representations that will engage business and technical stakeholders, who are typically unfamiliar with the modeling languages. Use a built-in library of handy images or create your own at a team, project, organization, or industry level. Use scalable vector or raster images and include them in web pages or reports and publications generated from the model. Work together with collaboration and team tools. In this topic, you will learn to collaborate with team members anywhere in the world, using chat, discussions, reviews, and core features such as security. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including work with colleagues and customers anywhere, chat and discuss projects, models, and ideas, review each other's work and give real-time feedback, rest easy as security protects your models, and more. Collaborate with customers, colleagues, and consultants, and build systems in record time using the collaboration and team features. Enterprise Architect is built from the ground up as a collaboration platform for sharing ideas, and working and modeling together. Collaborate with your team and stakeholders no matter where they are located, and chat, discuss, comment, review, and share specifications, designs, solutions, and implementations, all in real time. Ensure you start, and stay on track with reviews, getting feedback from customers, consultants, and colleagues. You can conduct the reviews in the desktop tool, or if your models are served by the Pro Cloud server, you can review them in a web browser using WebEA. Take your modeling to the next level and ensure you evaluate your models for quality, compliance, risk mitigation, consistency, and more. Put meaning at your fingertips with the powerful glossary tools that ensure teams are on the same page and have the same mental model of terms and definitions. Readers will see the meaning of industry, project, or team terms as rollovers in diagram, element or connector notes and other model-based project documentation. create categories of terms based on disciplines, semantic fields, source, and more. Turn any project element into a glossary term by adding it to a glossary diagram. You can also include the glossary items and their meanings in a corporate publication or web page. Rest easy knowing that security is protecting your repository. Use security to drive many features such as package locking, perspectives, collaboration, workflow, ribbon sets, and more. Integrate with Active Directory and OpenID at a group or user level, and set permissions to control users or groups' access to tool features. Lock parts of the model to specific users and groups, and using some back-end databases completely hide some packages from view for specified users or groups. Manage requirements, user stories, use cases, and more, with agile Kanban diagrams to increase speed to market, and customer value. As a product owner, triage and manage backlogs and effortlessly move items between lanes and boards. Your whole team can work productively by choosing items from the board and recording their progress on an item. You can use pre-configured boards using patterns, or define your project or personal boards and lanes, including colors, work-in-progress limits, and which properties to display. Communicate, publish and exchange models. In this topic, you will learn to create corporate publications and exchange content with other tools like Excel and SharePoint. By the end of the topic, you will have seen benefits, including view models in real time through a web browser, exchange data with spreadsheets and documents, publish high-quality corporate documents, integrate with more than 30 other tools, and more. Instantly view real-time models in a browser, no matter where you are. View the models on a notebook, tablet, or smartphone, and create new requirements, use cases, issues, and more, adding notes and other details as required. Collaborate with colleagues, consultants, and customers by entering into discussions, chat, reviews, and viewing each other's model additions and changes as they are made. Exchange requirements, user stories, risks, and other elements with spreadsheets, by using the CSV Exchange utility. Save time and effort by importing existing definitions from spreadsheets, including inbuilt properties such as type, status, and priority, or user-defined properties such as business owner or criticality. Create and reuse your specifications for both import and export of modeling information. Get to know your stakeholders and create clear and concise specifications, designs, and solutions, based on their needs and concerns. Use a pattern to model your stakeholders' influence and the impact the solution has on them, or create your own diagrams to model other aspects of a stakeholder's concerns or relationship with the initiative. These models will deliver benefits and help ensure you are managing the system's value proposition. View a graph of model connections and visualize how requirements relate to other elements. Set options to restrict which relationships to display, and locate related elements in the browser or diagrams, and instantly view their properties. Use this view in conjunction with other windows, like matrices, and model views, to gain a comprehensive understanding of how requirements relate to both business and technology elements, ensuring there is no scope creep or unintended gaps in functionality. Generate high-quality corporate documents directly from the model. Use a range of document generation techniques with flexible system or user-defined templates, filters, and presentation options. Completely customize your publications to comply with industry, corporate, or customer standards, including styles and logos. Add static and dynamic content, and auto-regenerate the document when the model changes. Generate publications in formats such as docx, HTML, PDF, and more. Create narratives to ensure your diagrams tell a story that helps explain and clarify the problem or solution models. Build expressive diagrams that relate requirements and other elements such as business processes, user stories, use cases, application components, and more. Hyperlink elements to create drill-down to lower-level diagrams that take your ideas to a deeper level. Place notes on your diagrams to clarify meaning for business or non-technical audiences. In this presentation we have covered the following topics: develop expressive and concise requirements, manage changing requirements, achieve flexibility with standards and languages, work together with collaboration and teams, communicate, publish, and exchange models.